I'll have to take a look at that for next time. All right, there we go. Awesome. Hopefully my internet sticks around. We are outdoors spray painting today. Gonna do my best to try and keep things in focus. All right, hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to any of you who are stopping by to say hi. We are doing some spray painting outdoors today because the weather is finally not blazing hot and I can actually tolerate it as long as I'm under my tent. So today I have with me a brand new stencil, aside from the car stencils that I've already picked up. It's this really neat looking lionfish stencil. Isn't that so cool? I just love the way how it looks, and I can't wait to get into all of these color channels and just see what I can do with it, all of the different ways. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to see if I can send the word out a little bit. Now let's see here. Let's back online. Awesome sauce. All right, so here is what I'm thinking of doing. I'm going to take this stencil and I am going to put it over the top of this. This is a pour painting that I did a little while back with dollar store paints, and we used it to experiment some different techniques, but it's just not quite doing it for me, so I'm gonna jazz it up by spray painting over the top of it, and I'm really hoping to lock in some of those colors. So even though the lionfish here doesn't exactly fit on top of the canvas, we are going to go for it anyway. Let me go and grab my colors. What too many people don't know is it's always a good idea when you are spray painting to take your spray paints and lay them outside to warm them up, because when you spray cold spray paint, it comes out all sputtery. So if you set these out in the sun, just like that, it really performs nicely. Now, due to the occasional, well, not arthritis yet, but crafter hands, I'm going to be using this to help me push the trigger and use the spray paint today. There we go. Little test. There we go. That one's a little bit more on the thinner side, so I'll have to be careful and give it a shake. Now, since this side over here is pretty dark on the pour painting, I'm going to brighten this side up and then darken all of this over here, so that way the yellow underneath will help to translate and really make it pop. And I don't entirely want all of this to be red. I'll change that here in a little bit. But I really want the stencil to cement what's underneath and lay down the color that I'm using right now. So all of these little registrations here, those are going to be red for sure. But I want to layer my colors on top of each other, and then I'll be able to get rid of this red on the outside here. Otherwise, it's just going to look far too busy in my opinion. But say otherwise. Hello, secret hacker. We are spray painting outdoors today. The weather is finally nice enough to do that. I am reusing one of my old pour paintings, putting a stencil on top to refresh and renew it. Next up, I'm going to go in with a gloss sun yellow. And let's anchor down the page so it doesn't fly up at us. Okay, just as I thought. This one is also pretty light. These did not get a long time to stay out in the sunshine, but we'll just see what we can do here. And yes, I know I'm putting yellow over yellow, but just wait. These bright fluorescent colors have a really neat effect. Rather than being typical spray paint like this, it actually goes down translucently. Oh my wow. There we go. It goes on translucent, so you still get your main colors on top, but it acts more like a tint than an actual paint. Unless they change their formula. Oh no, that's actually really nice. It wants to try and come at an angle. Yeah, some areas it's really tinting the paint rather than painting it. Okay, and next, let's do a little bit of bronze sputtering. Sputtering is when you just barely hold down the nozzle to where it's literally spitting the paint out. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can zoom you guys in a little bit. That way you can really see what I'm doing. Now, since he's pretty much blending in, I'm gonna go in with this. It's one of the cheap brands that Walmart sells, but it has this really neat effect. It goes on super duper liquidy, but as soon as you put something else on top, it creates these little halo rings, and it looks like those drops of color are out of focus, and it is so cool. I love using this. I think Walmart sells them for $2-3 a can. The only thing about that though is they go pretty fast. And I don't mean they're flying off the shelves. I mean like it really doesn't take that much to use it all. Why is my table vibrating? My table was vibrating. Oh well. So the trick with using the cheap stuff in order to get that little halo effect, excuse me, you gotta kind of act quickly. So that way the paint is still wet. And I'll show you here in just a second. Can't forget about the edges. Okay, so we've got that down. I want to add the red, and we are going to sputter that in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then zoom you guys in. Hopefully it picks up. Stay, please. Okay, you guys are gonna get the top corner. There you go, see? Right up around here. It's really faded and it looks like it's just literally melting into the wet paint. And that's exactly what I'm going for. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna zoom you guys out so you can see everything. Hopefully it comes into focus. And here we go. Oh, that looks so cool. You can definitely tell it's a lionfish, but it looks, yeah, I don't know. Let's go in for a closer look. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's a lionfish. But the pour painting in the background here is just a little too chaotic, I think, for my tastes. I mean, I still like it. It's very cool, very different. But yeah, nice. I'm gonna set this aside to dry. This one will be fun to take pictures of. All right, next I've got this one here lined up. Got this classic car we're gonna do. So I'm thinking of a solid color, probably just gonna stick with a silver and then maybe overlay a fluorescent green over the top of the silver to kind of make it look like green chrome. Since we have all of this marbling going on here in the background, this is another one of my pour paintings I actually did on a live stream. But I feel like we can really make this good. In which case, I'm going to set this car stencil aside and I'm gonna pull up some trees. I have some tree stencils right over here. And we are going to use these to kind of help create a focal point. These are just basic tree stencils and it's nice and long enough to really work well with the canvas. So there's two ways I can go about this. I can cover all of this with green and then I can get the car stencil, whoops. Then I can get the car stencil and spray paint over this so it kind of looks like the cars driving through the green trees. Or I can find one that mirrors and make it so these are what the trees would look like. Normally I plan these out well in advance. I haven't really done too many spray paintings on a live stream before. So this is all trial and error for me, and I appreciate you guys for being in the long haul with it. Really does mean a lot to me. Got a little itty bitty YouTube channel that's just trying to get things rolling. Okay, well it turns out I don't have any tree stencils that really mirror. So I'm not too worried about this one. It's not one of my favorites. We're just gonna go with it and see what we get. But let's just turn this upside down and work this way. Let's get my shield. Here it is. Let's set that down underneath so we don't have such a harsh line. I think that's one of the most frustrating things when it comes to spray paints. Trying to make sure you don't have harsh lines in between your stencils. There we go. And these are just little weights. Okay, let's go in with, how many greens do I have? Got one, this one's super bright. Two, this one would be good, hunter green. I think a mix of these two, a blue green and a hunter green. Make sure it still works. Awesome. Okay, we'll go in with the hunter green. Which is almost the same, but it's funny because hunter green's got more yellow in it. Might be a little difficult to see on camera, but they are almost the same shade. Okay, and then I want to add in some fluorescent green. It's going to be the same as the orange, but just to help kind of highlight some of these trees. Oh, this one's going down. Okay, awesome. I did not pick up a fluorescent yellow. I feel like that would be really nice in here. Okay, take off our shield. Take off the tree stencil. Okay, interesting. Set that aside, flip it around. So now that we have this right here, I feel like a car will break things up nicely. Perhaps. I don't want to lay the car stencil on there just yet. It's still pretty wet. Gonna make an executive decision, and I'm gonna try to fade this right here. There we go. That way you can still kind of see it, but it's not going to be so obvious. Bam in your face. Okay, now because all of this is wet and I don't want to disturb what's going on already, I'm going to set this aside to dry. And I want to do another lionfish. Either lionfish or, you know, I do have a jellyfish. I can never always make up my mind. But when I was doing the art sales, people loved the jellyfish. So I figured, why not make a video on it? A video of me making the jellyfish. Yeah, these people wanted, I did not make enough jellyfish. So here I am, hopefully redeeming myself. Okay, let's do ocean backgrounds. So we are going to get, can't read this one anymore, but it's I'd say it's teal blue. And I'm just kind of, actually it's more like a Caribbean blue. And because we are doing water, I'm just gonna go in haphazardly when I lay down my colors. So otherwise everything's gonna appear really flat. Going in with metallic blue. Make sure that's on. Metallic blue has always been my favorite. So I'll try not to use too much. And then let's go in with our cheap black. Make it color gradient going from dark to light, or I guess from light to dark. Now you see how thin this is down here? It's kind of comical. So you really have to layer it on or like get super close. Okay, and while that's still wet, let's bring back the metallic blue. Yes, the wind is beginning to pick up. Okay, let's give this Oasis Blue a try. I have not used this one yet, but I'm interested in seeing how bright and vibrant it is. Okay. Way, that's bright. I like it. Okay, not bad. I feel like this needs purple of all colors. Going in with gloss in the color grape. And why purple? Just to kind of help settle down that blue and ease into the dark depths a little bit better. Going in with our cheap black. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and then since we got that on there, I do want to keep using this Oasis Blue, but there we go. Nice. I like it. This is all wet. We need to set it aside to dry, and we can move back over to one of our other paintings. Which one? Okay, I think we can work on the car one now. It really helps to work on a hot day, so that way the sun can just ambiently dry the paint out, but there's still a little bit of tackiness left. That's going to allow me to lay the stencil on nice and flat. Okay. So we'll do this. We already have a lot of green. And I see some areas where there will absolutely need to be some silver, like for the chrome. Oh, that one's too big. So one thing that I've noticed about these stencils after doing the little test run, using them for the first time, my little cheat sheet, some of them kind of wanted to leak. The paint leaked underneath the stencil, like this one right here. This edge is super duper, like, well, it's not thin. It wants to, I don't know if it wants to lift, but it just doesn't feel super reliable. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. So I'll just have to be very careful and dust it on. Okay, we are going to grab our silver. Ooh, you know what? Silver and blue, that would be good. But it's going to be covering up some green under here, so let's stick with silver. And I'm forgetting something. Shield. We want to save our progress. There we go. And I'm just going to borrow this stencil to also help save the progress. As well as this one. This is essentially the same difference as masking. For any artists who use masking tape and you want to save your work, that's what we're doing right there. Okay, there we go. Got everything covered, we're good. And yes, I am intentionally missing the wheels. Those should be black. Okay, and then perhaps a little bit of the fluorescent to help reflect the greens. Just a little. There we go. One more time with the chrome just to help brighten it up. In the necessary areas. Okay, you know, it's pretty simple, but I'm interested in seeing what comes forth. Okay, here we go. Take all of the weights off. Really hoping this works. The the tires might look dirty. That's funny. Let go. Thank you. Spray paint doesn't always want to behave. Okay, awesome. Here we go. Please be clean. Let me have it. Okay. Not bad. Still kind of feel like it's missing something. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to break out some paint, you know, regular acrylic paint, and just kind of touch it up a little bit. But I mean, it's not bad. On camera, it still looks very much silver. But there is a little bit of a green tint going on. I feel like this would be better against a darker sky. I think I'll have to plan another video to do that. And perhaps I'll do it today, as long as my phone isn't blazing hot. Okay, we are going to get the jellyfish. We're going to get the jellyfish going, and that will be our last spray paint for today. This looks so cool. I really like it. And I hope the color's translating on camera as it is in person. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't, but I'm really liking this one. Okay. We've got our jellyfish over here. Jellyfish, where did you go? And I feel like something like right here would be kind of cool. So it's like coming up rather than just being bam in the center. So I think maybe I'll angle it this way. And I know there's lots of really pretty little blips right there, but we can always make more. Okay. One more time for the shield. So as far as colors go, what should we color our jellyfish? I like to try and use at least 3 to 4 colors. What do you guys want to see? High contrast, low contrast. I've got every color you can think of. Purple? Okay, purple, and what else? Let's see, where did my purple go? Right here. I need 3 more colors. We've got purple. What other colors should I add for the jellyfish? Light pink. Okay. Oh my goodness, the wind always likes to blow right as I'm working. Okay, I see we've got 4 people watching the live stream. Pull up the chat to comment what other colors you want to see. So far we've got purple and a light pink. Got orange, red, yellow, greens, blues. There we go. We've got the light pink on there. Got purple. We've got pink. I even have gold, silver. We can even do the neon colors. And then for a bonus treat, we've got a little bit of a color shift we can add on top. Baby blue. Okay. Let's see. Oh, don't you roll away. Closest to baby blue I have would be this one here. Let's give it a go. Neon blue. Oh, shoo. That's maybe one that I absolutely don't have. I don't know if they made neon blue and spray paint yet. Usually the neons are for safety colors. I want at least one more contrasting color, if you will. Anybody who's joined the live stream, feel free to comment what one more color you want to see. We've got blue, pink, purple. Can do orange, can do red. Got yellow, gold. Can even do black. Although it might kind of melt into the background if it's black. You know what? I think for the fun of it, I'm gonna highlight some of this pink and gold, right on. Okay, I'm gonna lay down some of this fluorescent neon orange to kind of help highlight this pink. A little bit into the purple. That looks cool. Then I'm gonna break out the fluorescent green, touch up that blue. Come on. Oh, dead can. Bummer. Good thing I have another. Okay, highlighting the blue. Oh, this is gonna be a cool one. I'm excited. Let's top off the blue. There we go. And for the gold, let's do some good old classic sputtering. Oh, come on. I don't want giant sputters, but we'll work with what we've got. Okay, after all of that, let's get the awesome effects going. We've got a pink champagne that's supposed to go from gold to orange to red to pink, if I have that in the right order. Whoa. Good, dude. It may not look like it's doing much yet, but when I go to take pictures, you'll see the difference. Okay, and then next up, we're gonna go with the blue Cosmos. It says to apply over a black base coat. That's not entirely necessary. It will work on other colors. You just have to get a good enough concentration of it. But it's not going to be as pronounced as it would be as if it was on a black canvas. Okay, let's take off our weights. I'm not worried about those sticking together. Take off the guard so we kept our pretty background. And here we go. All right, I like it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. It looks like it's glowing. Here's a quick look. All right, there we go. Let me grab our canvases that we worked on today. Show you everything for those of you who are just now tuning in. Unfortunately, this live stream is nearing its end for today. Here's the first one we worked on. This really pretty lionfish. It looks very much like he belongs in some kind of a underwater lava tunnel or something. Down in the deep dark down. Okay. Then we've got our classic car. Not bad. Definitely has a little bit of a learning curve, but one I'm excited to tackle. Here's a closer look. I'll be taking more pictures of these as they dry. And lastly, jellyfish. Now, I was pretty heavy on the paint, but you know, I feel like jellyfish can get away with it. Okay, that's it for today. Hopefully my phone, it isn't too hot. We've been going on for about 41 minutes now. I do live streams every Monday at 2 o'clock unless I say otherwise, because, you know, life happens. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to see what I'm doing, what I'm up to, and what I'm going to be working on. I also have an Instagram where I do my best to upload pictures of my artwork as soon as they are ready, and I frequent art shows when I can. All right, I hope to see y'all next Monday. Bye for now.